Did you know that Batman doesn't use magic because he's not allowed to use magic? It was actually explained in the comic book Batman the Knight by his master Giovanni Zatara when he heads to New York City to learn the whole Master of Escapism. And when he's there training with Zatara, he ends up stumbling into the world of magic. And when he demands to be taught the craft, Zatara says absolutely not. People like Bruce Wayne just become bad people when they learn to use magic. Magic takes, it doesn't give, and when somebody like Bruce would come into that type of power, it doesn't really have much more to take. So the minute that someone like him uses magic, they just become a bad person. And at the end of Bruce's training with Zatara, he reveals that during the whole demon kerfluffle, he stole a book called Speaking with the Dead. And he takes the book and tells Bruce that he can't teach him how to speak with the dead, but he can provide Bruce with the piece of magic that comes at no price: memory. Memory is always the thing that will give you the ability to hear those you have loved and lost in your life. And Zatara tells Bruce that if he stays for a little bit longer, he'll share some of that magic with him and tell him some stories of Thomas and Martha Wayne. As for Bruce's next tutor, that guy's a little weird. Did you know that Batman doesn't use
For some reason, the OBS settings had gone back to default. I was yapping. Anyways, I had to pay my fucking internet bill. I have to pay my credit card. I got paid, but it's like I have like 3-4 bills. So I'm trying to figure out how to accurately do this. I guess I'm just gonna have to wait over the weekend and not spend any fucking money. I have to go to LA though. That's why this is a short stream. I have to drive to LA. The last couple of days, like Wednesday, Thursday, because I said I was gonna be streaming Thursday, I didn't. Just bad mental health. Just bad mental health. Like a lot of things. I work really hard for little to no recognition, so I'm kind of tired of that. I have to put in more effort here, more effort in life, more effort in photography, just in a bunch of stuff. So, you know, like, I'm a little tired. I am not a dream girl, but I appreciate that. It's whatever Yami. Princess. What does it say? Oh.
It boils down to this. What the captains are looking for here is magic power. That's simple. You got a death wish, boy.
Who is this guy?
Man.
No magical enhancements there. This kid is just in crazy good shape.
Angelic Sister Maria, I will destroy you both!
All right. I've had enough. Quit breaking stuff already!
He's got the eyes of a killer. That neck! He doesn't have necks that thick! And the way he
Asta's
carries
voice is so
himself,
cheesy.
how can we be the same age? I'm gonna be the Wizard King!
Same age.
That grimoire.
Hey.
The unbelievable task of waking up Yami Tsukihiro, captain of the Black Bulls.
Captain, sir! It's morning!
Shut up now or I will kill you!
Yes, sir! Sorry, sir! Based on the other tests, I would have never expected him to have that much magic power.
Yeah, well, he didn't use magic power.
Huh?
I mean, it's not so much that he didn't use it, more like
He doesn't have any.
Wait, hold on. No judging a book by its cover. Just be nice and friendly to him. Wow, you look really old for your age. Must have had a rough life, huh?
Looks like I was right about that death wish.
This book's got the right cover!
This is bad. This isn't what I'm looking for. My name is Portuguese.
How much do you, especially if you're of working age, relate to these next couple of lines? I'm a human with no concept of having something worth doing or a purpose in life. Honestly, even if I vanished, nobody will be bothered. Kento Nanami represents a struggle that we all face, that everything can feel meaningless. We're lost and we don't know what to do. Then you go online and everyone talks about finding your purpose and you feel as though you're missing out on something, that everyone else has this meaning thing that you don't. And in particular for this video, that our jobs can feel pointless and unfulfilling. And so somehow in a series full of characters that I felt little to no connection to, this one guy made me see it all differently. To see the purpose in what can often feel like a purposeless world, but in reality it's everywhere. It's just that we've been fed false expectations of what it looks like. You know, what a beautiful, uplifting character this is. I think you guys are going to love this video. I think we all see a lot of ourselves in him, in his flat, resigned, just getting through each day kind
I
of
like his
attitude
drip,
is something
dog.
that we've all had at some point, until a single mundane encounter like the ones you have multiple times a day changed that forever. I thought I had nothing to live for. Thought. Past tense. So let's go through Nanomi's backstory and we'll see why and how. He initially starts off as a jujutsu sorcerer, but after failing to save his friend Hibara, he decided to quit and entered the corporate world in what looks like a pretty high-end stockbroker job. He later returns to Jujutsu Society in spite of the horrors he saw, and we'll come back to why, because it's super interesting and obviously related to the introduction of this video. As a sorcerer, he has this quite cold, cynical front, but it's very clear that he has a strong sense of morality beneath the surface. You know, he's kind, he puts others first.
I would
He
like to
always tries
redo
do
my
the
emotes.
right thing. And our first glimpse into his past corporate life is actually from a flashback he has on Death's Door against Mahito, where, following the latter opening his domain, he realizes that he's simply dead. He has no means of negating the sure hit, instant kill effect of the domain, and his first thought in his final moments is simply, sorcerers are shit. You have to force your comrades to sacrifice their lives for others. That's why I quit. Or you could say, run away. And I think that little distinction at the end is interesting. You know, he knows someone has to do this role. Someone has to exercise these curses. He just couldn't stomach doing it himself. Although he saw it as slightly selfish, he just didn't want to be the one doing so. Anyway, the flashback starts off with him in a bakery making some small talk, or rather, the baker starts off a bit. He's totally uninterested in what she's saying, and is honestly a little rude to her, although I don't think he means to be. But there's this very clear contrast between two different approaches to work in life, right? Nanami pushing himself to earn, even in a job he doesn't really care for, and this bakery girl who presumably doesn't earn as much, but is doing something she cares about. And don't worry, I know what you're thinking. This video is not going to be anywhere near as simple as just weighing
one
up
is
these
kind of
two
cool.
things. She seems very sweet and happy. Obviously the polar opposite of the cold, dispassionate Nanami. But what's particularly interesting is the contrast in Nanami in these following 2 pages. Firstly, we see him not disposing of the curses on his shoulder, as he just doesn't want to have to deal with the hassle of looking weird, which seems quite, you know, heartless. But then in the very next page, we see him working at his job and training up a new hire. And whilst his boss pushes him to sell everything and anything, regardless of whether the clients will actually profit, Nanami speaks of a more ethical approach, balancing risk and being sincere with the clients. And that's the side of him that he just can't let go of. And I think the way he acted with this bakery girl and just doing this job itself goes against his very core as a person. He'd later talk about how his job doesn't actually help anyone in a real sense, that it's outside the natural human cycle, and that it's ridiculous that it pays so well in spite of it. And none of that has ever sat right with him. And so all he wants is to make money to retire and leave it all behind. He's willing to sacrifice his health, even if it means overworking himself to a hideous degree. Like, who does an overnight shift at a job like this? Stock markets aren't even open overnight. It would all be so much easier if he could just sell his soul, pun fully intended given his fight with Mahito. But if he wasn't so worried about actually making his clients happy, he could just make them buy garbage stocks that won't profit. His boss would be happier, he'd probably get promoted and earn more, he'd get to his goal of retiring that much quicker, but he just can't. He thinks he's given up, that he's sold his soul, but he hasn't. And in my experience, that feeling of, I shouldn't be doing this, I should be doing that instead, it never really goes away. The obsession Nanami had with money started after leaving Jujutsu High. He didn't have it beforehand, but I think he's tried to kill that righteous part of him following Hibara's death, to bury it down and pretend it doesn't exist, as after all, he can't change the system, and realistically, that's all of us. We're not going to be able to overthrow the working world, but maybe we don't need to. Maybe the small things you can do right now and are happening to you right now are enough. The conversations we get to have, the activities we have the opportunity to do, the little moments of gratitude towards ourselves and, of course, others. For Nanami and many others, we've realized that endlessly chasing promotions is not the answer. You know, maybe instead of constantly chasing the future of once I get this, once I earn this much, once I retire, once this happens, maybe instead there's something meaningful you can
Maybe
start
there's
now.
more, but
Maybe
yeah.
you could change your job to something that doesn't feel as hollow. To quit your job for something lower paying but possibly more meaningful is scary, because money is the one thing you can quantify and easily see, like, yeah, this job pays more. And so even if the other job still pays enough to live on, it's still hard to let go, right? I personally kind of did this. I took a small pay cut to be able to work from home more at a different job. And even just that small change, I can say, was absolutely worth it. You know, maybe the right call is to change to something that's better for us, rather than working and earning more and spending that money on making ourselves feel normal again. And if you're in that situation where you can take that risk to quit your job and go in on something separate, maybe you should go for it, you know? But not all of us can. It's easy for people online to say, oh, you know, quit your job, escape the matrix, but we have bills to pay. And especially if you have a family to look after, it's not that simple. And even if you do manage to do it, I don't think it's going to be the magic solution to all your problems that you're expecting. But we'll come back to that. But personally, I don't think it's necessary either. Maybe you could start something on the side and look to grow it like I do with this channel. Or, and this is the more important part, maybe we just need to be more conscious, more appreciative of these little moments around us. Speak to that person that you walk past. Do something nice for your family. Start something that excites you. Nanami returns to that bakery the following day, and it seems like he's at his breaking point, as though he's realized that there's more to life than just working himself into the ground. My job involves holding on to rich people's money and making them even richer than they already are. Honestly, even if I'm not there, nobody will be bothered. But if bakeries disappear, people who want to eat bread will be troubled. And with that, he exercises her curse and walks away, back to the juicy society. And this baker's simple thanks was enough for him to realize that he has plenty to live for. It doesn't need to be some grand purpose. Her gratitude was enough. We don't need to be able to change the world. You know, something could be as small as a thank you, and yet so incredibly meaningful. It could be as simple as baking bread and be a purpose as such. It can be as ridiculous as I don't want to say philosophy anime channel, that feels like giving myself way too much credit, but anyway, you get the point. And don't get me wrong, what Nanami does is pretty huge, right? He's saving people's lives. But the point being, he gave up that dream of retiring early, that one day, decades from now, to do what good he could right now. And even in what he thought would be his final moments, he had no regrets. He's satisfied. Do you really think he could have said that if he didn't go back? And so Nanami is once again a Jujutsu sorcerer. And going back to his first introduction when he's with Gojo, it's not like he's made this change and everything's perfect. You know, there's still parts of this he hates. He hates the way the higher-ups operate. He hates having to deal with Gojo's nonsense. And there's a scene in episode 12 where he hangs the idea of a promotion over Ino's head to get him to kill the transfigured humans, even when he was very clearly very uncomfortable.
I'm actually bad at making soups.
It's not something Nanami particularly
I'm actually
wanted
really bad
to
at
do,
making
but
soups.
he had to in order to rush over to Yuji to save him. In my experience, this idea of a perfect job, this purpose without anything you dislike, just isn't realistic. It probably won't be as extreme as this, but there'll be things you don't like, and expecting that not to be the case is only going to trap you in endless discontentment. Personally, I thought all my troubles would go once I got more days working from home and left my old job I hated. And it was definitely an improvement, but it didn't solve everything. There's parts of my new job I don't like either. And that's why I put such an emphasis on appreciating the things outside of work more, because you can definitely start to enjoy that. And I also think it's for that exact reason that Nanami has his time-based pact to help him minimize overtime. It was a promise to himself to never go back to his overworked life he had before. And so there's a lot of things we look at Nanami and can respect and wish we embodied: his discipline, his selflessness, his perseverance. But maybe in addition to all of that, we should include his courage to walk away from something he knew wasn't right for him, his desire to make the world a better place in whatever way he could, be it through teaching the next generation or through helping out in emergencies when he's needed. He gave up a lot to do so, and despite taking a moment to dream about what his simple life in Malaysia could have looked like, I think he dies satisfied with how he lived. You know, if he had no regrets before, I don't see what would have changed between then and now. And again, what a beautiful character Gege is written here. So grounded in realism, fully conscious of the despair the world can contain, and yet completely optimistic to his core. Not through naivety, but through the genuine belief that he can make a positive difference in the world. Even when trying to fight against that side of him, he found himself simply wanting to make the world a better place in whatever way he could. And if this cynical, by-the-book salaryman can do that, despite all the horrors he's seen, why can't you?
The audacity. Anyways, I should probably like hop onto Duolingo. Leave me kids alone. 4 weeks ago.
What are you doing here?
Taking you home from your shoulder surgery.
Oh boy, he's on that surgery slurpee. This is about to get real honest.
How you feeling?
Can't feel my arm. Y'all ever tripped on that truth juice? This is about to be either really or really.
You wanna go home and get some rest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know where I live.
I do.
Dude, did y'all give him anesthesia or amnesia? What's going on?
I live with you.
What?
We got married.
We did.
You're so pretty.
Thank you.
Oh, Mother Earth! Thank you, Dolly Parton, for some reason. Thank you for marrying me.
You're welcome. Thank you for marrying me.
You're so nice you hand out breath mints in public bathrooms just because. Get honey roasted! You're the kind of guy to look in the mirror every morning and say, "We've got this." Get honey roasted! Hey, pal! Hey, sport! What? I am more frustrated than a vampire sucking on the Kool-Aid Man's honey roasted!
Your fiance? Red flag.
Hey, pal! Hey, sport! What? I am more frustrated than a vampire sucking on the Kool-Aid
I don't believe
Man's
in
neck.
marriage.
Okay, I have prepared a list of questions for you. Please respond at your earliest inconvenience. Who do you think you are? Oh God, we didn't finish the video. Flag guy. Are you mental? Hey, flag guy. Were you raised in a barn?
Barn.
You harlot. He can't hear me. Are you serious right now? Flag guy. What? We didn't finish watching the video. Oh, he's a cutie plot twist patootie. Please don't be mad at me. Are you mad at me? Wait, real quick, don't go. I wrote some roast jokes about you, but they're compliments. They're called honey roasts. You're so sweet, you could call a mime and they would pick up. Get honey roasted. Wait, I thought.
How does this guy have so many
They
views?
can dance too. Get honey roasted. You're so nice, you ask Siri how she's doing mentally before you ask for directions. Get honey roasted.
That's bad. Anyways.
Give us a silly goose time, guy. And that's how it's done, folks.
You got
Hey,
it.
can I show you this new dance I learned?
Oh, she's play texting around over here.
Oh, drop it, girl, drop it. Oh my God, babe!
What is it? What did I do?
Look at the floor.
I didn't see that. That's not
I didn't see anything, baby. Do you need me to plug it?
Oh, precious Jesus.
No, I promise.
Where were you born? Inside an oven? Because you're a sweetie pie. Get honey roasted, brother!
Go ahead, say it.
Oh, you're in fake trouble, ma'am. Every dad poses like this when they mean silly business, okay?
I'm actually craving Taco Bell.
I figured you'd freaking say that.
Dude, if you pull out a Taco Bell bag, I'm giggling and kicking my feet.
You went to Taco Bell?
I came prepared.
I'm gonna giggle and kick my feet, guy!
Don't ever say I don't love you.
All right. We're going to listen to DMCA heavy music. That's not right. Then again, the audacity.
Salut, je m'appelle Max. Je travaille ici. Et toi? Tu travailles ici aussi?
Just let the ocean take you, man. Just let the ocean take you. It's fine. You're not gonna drown. Just let it happen. If I can manage my money, I'm 2 weeks away from getting merch. Je travaille en Angleterre. Hélène travaille en France. I better write this shit down. It's gonna fuck me over. Hot. I need to read books on proper Doberman pet training. I have a Cash App now that works. Just let it happen. Let the ocean take you. It's fine. Non. Merci.
Une université mexicaine.
I didn't write it down.
Je habite à Paris. Et toi?
Estudios.
Duo est en Espagne. Duo est en Espagne. Duo est en Espagne.
I work. Je travaille. Let it happen. Just let it happen. The definitive. I don't know. All I'm saying is just let it happen, you know? How generalists destroy specialists. Although specialists, you know, generalize specialists. Why? Because you generalize in these wide array of things, but you specialize in this one thing that bothers you so fucking much that you keep doing it. Anyways. Welcome to the Hunters Association. You're right.
Julia étudie en Espagne. Julia étudie en Espagne.
J'ai étudié avec un professeur.
Julia travaille à Paris.
Bonjour Marie. Je suis Paul et je suis étudiant ici. Je travaille avec professeur Morel. Tu es étudiante aussi?
Chat.
Elle.
Chien. Il.
Salut.
Ça va? Et toi?
Ça va? And you?
Et toi? Ça.
Comment ça va? Bon, allons.
Salut, à demain.
Salut, à demain.
Demain.
Bonne soirée, ma bonne.
Ça va bien, et toi? Ça va bien, et toi?
Elle s'appelle Alice.
Elle s'appelle Alice. I say the S. I don't know why it thinks I don't say the S. Soirée. Bonne soirée. Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Bro, did I not? Bro, the way this makes the the hair on my neck and my arms stand up is just like. Daddy vibes. And I got enemies, I got enemies.
Nobody's there for me. So Father, forgive me for you know that I'm always sinning.
I'm gonna go pick up some pedals and some visors.
Excuse my language, that's a hang up on how shitty I've been feeling.
So,
Sorry, I feel no attraction and none of
au
this
revoir. Bonsoir.
Soirée.
Soirée. Soirée. No, it's like marbles in the mouth, like right here. Let's hear.
Il s'appelle Duo.
Il s'appelle Dio. Salut.
Salut.
Ah,
Demain.
Bonjour, comment ça va?
bonjour, comment ça va? I am a boy. Je suis un garçon.
Tell me what you really want from me. Is that too much? Is that too much? Is that too much? Oh, 'cause I've been so low for so
Un chat.
long. Yeah, yeah. I've been so low for so long.
Le difficult.
남자.
남자.
Situations bring you back to me. Oh, love is never break off. I guess you learned that's all. On my head, you say that I'm dying to forget. I bit the bullet for you, for you. I wrote a song to many pennies, so I hope you hear me know that I've been thinking about you. Oh, thinking about you. When it's dark out on the one you need, yeah, listen to the beating of your heart's out. When it's dark out on the one you need, yeah, listen to the beating of your heart's out.
남자, 여자, 남자, 여자, 남자, 여자, 남자.
남자. Porn.
전화.
전화.
전화. 전화. 전화.
남자, 여자.
여자.
저는 일합니다.
저는
저는
일합니다. 일합니다.
일합니다.
Work.
전 일합니다.
그 남자는 일합니다. 그 남자는 일합니다.
그 남자는
그 남자는 일합니다.
그
그
남자는
남자는 일합니다.
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 남자는 그
The man works.
민지 씨는 일합니다.
Thirty-five toes.
민지 씨는 일합니다. 민지 씨는 일합니다. 민지 씨는 일합니다.
Porn.
전화, 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 전화. 전화, 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 전화.
서연 씨는 일합니까? 서연 씨는 일합니까? 씨는 일합니까?
저 여자는 공부합니다. 저 여자는 공부합니다.
저 여자는 지금 공부합니다. 저 여자는 지금 공부합니다. 저 여자는 지금 여자는 저 여자는 지금 공부합니다. 공부합니다.
Not like marbles. Dubs. Not like marbles.
저 여자는 지금 공부합니다.
Shit goes hard, by the way. The significance of this is just so much harder than you could ever. It's a little fairy. It's not a little fairy. It's a metaphor for the light that's inside of all of us. We all just try to capture it. Sometimes I think about this a lot. Sometimes I dream about it too. Mind you, the paneling goes fucking hard, by the way. So, but this song also really goes hard. Like, the whole thing, the whole track is like killer, you know? Because at one point it shows Sasuke and how he fucking crushes his. Because he's, oh, I'm so edgy and dark, you know? Fuck, it was a trip. Neji. Anyways.
저 여자는 지금 공부합니다. 저 공부합니다. 지금
is currently studying, you know.
지금
지금
저는 전화합니다. 저는 전화합니다. 저는 전화합니다.
남자는 지금 잡니다. 남자는 지금 잡니다. 남자는 지금 잡니다. 아기는 잡니까? 아기는 잡니까? 아기는 잡니까? 잡니까? 아기는
Korean kind of hurts my brain.
그 여자는 지금 전화합니다.
So unhappy.
There are these archetypes and types of narcissism, and I think it's worthwhile to go through some of them, and you've outlined them in your book and written about it previously. Can you walk us through those?
Yeah, so the most classical form of narcissism that we most often think about is grandiose narcissism. And the grandiose narcissistic person
Bring back
is
shame.
almost like our armchair textbook definition. Arrogant, pretentious, preening, look at me, status oriented, really cares about appearances. Interesting.
그 여자는 지금 전화합니다. 그
Grandiose
여자는
narcissistic folks kind of have the best outcomes,
지금
believe it or not, because
전화합니다.
they're not as victimized. Like, as long as things are going generally the way the grandiose narcissist wants, I'm not saying it's a healthy relationship. I mean, we're talking about really like matters of like, you know, what's the best worst disease to
지금.
get kind of thing here, right? So it's really a matter of though
저는
the grandiose narcissistic person
전화합니다.
really cares about appearances. They're very, very forward facing, right? So that's the grandiose narcissist, and that typically, even in the DSM and
지금.
other diagnostic spaces, that formulation of narcissism is what we've classically focused on.
남자는
However, especially in the last 10 years, there's been more focus on what's
잡니다.
called vulnerable narcissism, which to me is probably the most important evolution in this conversation. The vulnerable narcissistic person is the one we often miss because they're not quite as charming, charismatic, shiny, compelling. These are folks who are sullen, petulant, resentful, victimized, passive aggressive.
공부합니다.
They are angry at everyone in the world. They feel like everyone has gotten more than them. Why me? Woe is me. Witch hunt. Everyone's out to get me.
여자는
And so, and also vulnerable
지금
narcissistic people may be more sad. They may be very socially anxious. So to somebody looking from the outside in, will
공부합니다.
actually say, this person's not narcissistic. They're kind of not well put together, actually. And they often sort of pull for being rescued, right? So a
지금.
lot of people will get caught up in trying to help them. Let me give them an opportunity. Let me give them a couch to sleep on.
남자는
Let me borrow them. Let me loan them some money. Let me help them. And then it becomes like this, literally a vortex, a black hole to which you could just keep
지금.
putting more and more, and it's never enough. And they sort of remain frozen in
잡니다.
time and space, no matter how much resource, time, support, encouragement you give them. That's the vulnerable narcissist. Now, grandiose and vulnerable narcissism are sort of like these kind of these complementary structures. If things start going wrong and wrong and wrong and wrong and wrong for the grandiose narcissist, they start looking like a vulnerable narcissist, sullen, petulant, aggrieved, everyone's out to get me. If things start going really right for the vulnerable narcissist, their grandiosity will pop out. So people are either more primarily grandiose or more vulnerable, but circumstances can kind of flip it and sort of make that other form of narcissism show up. The next form of narcissism...
Could I insert one thing
please,
there just to clarify? One of the things that I heard you share previously is that vulnerable narcissist, even though we talked about women being the brunt of most of the narcissistic behavior, the receiving end of it, you typically would find when you do find a woman who's a narcissist, it's often more likely to be a vulnerable narcissist.
Correct.
Is that
yes,
accurate?
yeah, absolutely. So vulnerable narcissism is pretty much equally distributed between genders. Grandiose narcissism is much more prevalent in men. Malignant narcissism is where we're talking about that more severe narcissism. We may still see some of the charm and the charisma, but we can also see a callousness at this point, right? There is a lot of vindictiveness in the malignant narcissist. There is the willingness to take advantage of people's vulnerabilities, isolate another person. So the charm is really kind of short-lived and not nearly as shiny as it is with the grandiose narcissistic person. Malignant narcissistic people will be very controlling. And the way that might even show up in an intimate relationship is they may be intently focused on someone else. Like, I want to spend all my time with you. Why do you want to spend time with your friends? Aren't you into me? They might do things like buy them a phone as a gift, which is a way they can track them. I always tell young people, don't ever accept a device or a phone as a gift from someone you're in an intimate relationship with. It's very dangerous. You maintain your own phone accounts and your own devices, always, until you are so certain that this is a safe relationship. But that seems like a generous gift you could get from someone, right? So it's those kinds of things that a malignant narcissistic person would do. Those relationships can get dangerous, and of all the forms of narcissistic relationships, physical violence and aggression is going to be most likely to show up in a malignant narcissistic relationship, and then secondarily in a vulnerable narcissistic relationship. Then we get to some interesting forms of narcissism, most pointedly, the communal narcissist. The communal narcissistic person is I call him sort of the shirt off.
It's funny because I'm on Duo, but I'll be getting off soon. Yo, I'm fucking cooked, dog. I get 10:30 shifts. Fucking Sunday to Tuesday. And then I get Wednesday, Thursday off. And then I get Friday, 8 to 12. Let's go. I did ask for like 30-hour shifts weekly, so that's cool. Oh, I am so cooked next week. The following week? Oh. Oh, these fucking... The 8 a.m. shifts, bro. I am fucking done, brother. Holy shit. Woo. Anyways, let's get this bread, dog.
There was no place for me to return to. This was the only place I could go. And now you're leaving, just like that.
But I also need another job. So the difficulty continues. Like, this is technically work, right? But people don't show up like I show up. Sometimes it hurts, but it doesn't matter. You just gotta keep on keeping on, you know? Apparently the solution to tariffs is just make everything here in America. I'm still in Duolingo. Like, I'm still here, you know? It's just... Korean knows how to cook my brain. Not the ads. Come on, bro. You think I can fucking max Journey of Light? It means I have to spend money. I should probably just go back into just chatting, cause like...
Are all avoidance toxic? Today we're going to be talking about a sensitive topic, which is avoidant attachment partners, and we're going to specifically discuss whether or not all or most people with an avoidant attachment style are toxic in the relationship. I get comments from people like this all of the time, and I've noticed something in common about the commenter, and I want to talk about it. By the end of this video, we're going to determine whether or not this is a fact or if it's a myth, and how we should use this information in our relationships with an avoidant partner. If you enjoy videos like this one and you want to see more of them on my channel, please don't forget to let me know by hitting the thumbs up button and consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much for doing that because it really means a lot to me. So the first thing that I notice about commenters is that there's a lot of hurt in their relationships. People have been hurt and continue to get hurt every single day. A lot of it does have to do with attachment styles being different, people not understanding one another, and compatibility challenges. So I get that your experience might be sensitive, and I don't want to discredit that by any means, but we also have to step out of our feelings and past experiences in order to understand where we want to go from here. Because let's be honest, not every experience in life is pleasant, and if you're looking to take a lesson out of those experiences, you can quickly turn it around into a positive experience. Does your attachment style identify who you are? I hope that you're going to say no, because it is a part of your identity, but it is not your entire personality. When you make decisions about your relationship compatibility only based on the attachment style, you're doing yourself a great disservice, because there are so many more nuances than just your attachment style that go into whether or not you're compatible with somebody and whether or not that relationship is healthy or toxic. The truth is, you can be in a relationship with somebody in the exact same category as you when it comes to attachment style, and it can be extremely toxic depending on that person's behavior, personality, characteristics, and all of the other things. Reality is, your attachment style is only a part of the picture of whether or not you can have a healthy relationship with the person. I think it's important to know your partner's attachment style so that you can understand them and be able to go into that relationship already knowing what to expect.
Yeah, fucking the music, total bop. The fact that I'm trying to learn this shit.
Kind of extreme. They adopted a way of coping with hard situations, uncomfortable situations that might be different from you. And when it comes to not understanding avoidant attachment style, it's more true than ever, especially when you're starting to include your own emotions into what you perceive. Another thing I really want to touch on is the word toxic. In actuality, no other human being should be toxic for you if you have healthy boundaries, if you have stability within yourself, if you are wholesome in you, as a person, you're way less likely to react to others, way less likely to interpret their behavior as toxic to you because you understand it. Now, that's not to say that you are going to associate yourself with people that you don't want to be a part of or don't want to be in a relationship with in this case.
No, I'm
Do your
32.
best to make your circumstance
It's hard for me to be like, I think I had a dream last
in short,
night
I believe
where
that this is a very prejudiced and
someone was
biased
telling me how they've
on
never
a
felt this way
huge group of
before, and I started
and you
sitting there
can't
and I was
say
like,
that all
fuck,
of them are like this
why is
because
this making me
you had an
angry?
experience with one
Like,
person.
why is this bothering me?
Similar
Why is
to
this making
a
me
big
angry?
group of
Why is
people.
here you
You
tell me
also
that you've
need to
never
choose to
felt this way
identify
before,
what gets
fucking
to be
annoying
toxic
me?
for you and what isn't. Obviously, there are a set of behaviors that just cross boundaries, and that is why it's so important to know your own boundaries and understand how you're contributing to the situation that you're currently in. And it is really important to develop the security you seek in your relationship, in yourself, in order to
We're going
be
back
able
to
to
just
bring
chatting,
that out in your
because this
partner,
is not the...
and as well as create the peaceful atmosphere that allows you guys to connect and get closer together. If you're watching this video and you realize that you want to develop your security more, I have a program that is going to be released very soon, and it will help you build that stability and security that you seek in your partner within you, so that you're able to create the atmosphere in the relationship that you want and bring out the positive qualities from your partner, encourage them to be the person that you fell in love with. I would love for you to join the program. I'm going to list some of the details in the description box below. Be sure to check that out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.
Understanding the true motivation behind your attraction can help you navigate relationships with self-awareness and ensure that you engage in connections that are mutually beneficial and based on genuine compatibility. The people we find ourselves drawn to and romantically interested in can reveal a lot about our personalities, values, and even subconscious desires. With that said, let's dive deeper into how our attractions shape our identities and influence our choices in relationships, according to psychology experts. If you are attracted to typical bad boys or bad girls energy, attraction to individuals exuding the quintessential bad boy or bad girl energy can speak volumes about your own inclinations and desires. It may suggest that you crave excitement, adventure, and a hint of rebellion. You might be drawn to their confidence, assertiveness, and independent nature. According to psychologist Dr. Madeline Fugere, however, it's essential to reflect on whether this attraction stems from a healthy appreciation of these qualities or a subconscious need to fix or rehabilitate others. Dr. Fugere explains that these relationships seldom work out long term and may just be a means for us to express our repressed desires for freedom, rebelliousness, and excitement. Being attracted to partners who are less attracted to you can stem from low self-esteem, fear of intimacy, or anxious attachment. Psychologist Helen Fisher's study revealed that rejection can increase someone's attractiveness to us. However, this often arises from an unhealthy belief that we're undeserving of love, leading us to pursue unattainable partners. This pattern can result in imbalanced relationships, where emotional investment is lopsided. Understanding this empowers us to cultivate self-worth, recognize our value, and seek relationships where we're genuinely appreciated and reciprocated. So, if you're finding this insightful, remember to engage with it by liking, commenting, and subscribing to our channel. If you're drawn to those who remind you of a parent or caregiver,
No
attraction
fucking
to
thank you.
individuals who resemble significant figures from our past, such as a parent or caregiver, is a common phenomenon known as imprint attraction, explains Dr. Claire Jack. This attraction can be driven by unconscious desires to recreate familiar dynamics or seek qualities that were lacking in our earlier relationships. Understanding this pattern can help shed light on unmet emotional needs and provide an opportunity for healing and growth. By recognizing the influence of past experiences, you can strive for relationships that are based on genuine connection rather than unconscious repetition. If you are attracted to toxic people, Attraction to toxic individuals can be indicative of
I go at
underlying
3
issues within ourselves, says psychologist Dr.
on
Kirja.
Sunday,
It
and
may
I go in
suggest
at
a
8
lack of
a.m.
validation,
tomorrow.
a fear of intimacy, or a pattern of seeking out familiar dynamics.
9 a.m.
This
tomorrow.
attraction can stem from unresolved emotional wounds causing you to recreate unhealthy patterns from your past. Thus, recognizing this tendency is crucial for our well-being, allowing us to break free from toxic cycles and cultivate healthier connections built on mutual respect, trust, and emotional support. If you're interested in learning more about the psychology of attraction, we also did a video on the Sherlock paradox to attracting your crush. Because understanding the underlying many factors that underpin our attractions can help us gain insight into our own personalities and guide us in forming deeper and more fulfilling connections with others. So, Psych2Goers, as you reflect on your own attractions, ask yourself, what do they say about you? How can you use this knowledge to foster healthier and more fulfilling relationships? Let us know in the comments down below. And if you found this video valuable or helpful, please support our work by hitting like on this video and subscribing to our channel.
That's gonna be interesting. Doing your silly little egg holders. That's cute. Use stock? Use vegetable stock. Use vegetable broth. It's better. It's better than water. It adds more flavor. And you have to and then you can use less salt. Just saying. I'm gonna make this, by the way. Just for shits and giggles. Cover. What? Separate the yolks from the whites. Use vegetable stock. Use vegetable broth when doing this. You're like, why? He just used water. I'm like, yeah, but it's bland, you idiots. It's so bland. It's so boring. Not gonna lie, this is gonna take like 15 minutes. Maybe, if at that. You know how he's using 2? You don't need to do 2. You could just use 1 and fold gently. It's like fried rice, but it's not fried rice, you know? Carrot. All these angles that I don't have. Julienne. Julienne, your carrots. Stop doing that. Just do the fucking saute thing, you know? Why are you not seasoning your food? Huh? Why is that? Can you please tell me why you're not seasoning your food? Julienne, your ginger. Got it. I don't like knives like that. I can't say that I don't like knives like that. I like a more rounded knife. The flat bottom knives make it hard to do all that stuff. Why are you not seasoning your fucking food, bro? Oh, it's so artistic. Look at it. Builds it. I wonder what language is in the top left corner. That's good technique because he doesn't take the knife off the cutting board, which also means his knife is sharp. Okay, brother, you could have just used a knife to help you get all of it, but whatever. Once again, we're so fancy. Look at our silicone spatulas. Why aren't you seasoning this shit? Those are green onions, by the way. Save the ends. Save the ends for garnish. Why are you julienning this shit too? Cut them diagonally to make them look nice, you know? That just looks like leeks. You can learn a lot from other people and the way they cook. Chinese cabbage. I can make this. I'm not going to use Chinese cabbage because I probably can't find it. But I have regular ass American cabbage that I can use. He cleaned his knife. That's good. Is someone helping him? I feel like someone... No, he's doing this shit himself. He's got vine-ripe tomatoes, mushrooms, green onions, Chinese cabbage, ginger, carrot. Soy sauce. Salt and pepper, everything. Cayenne pepper. Just use your fingers, mate. Just use your fingers. I was like less than a teaspoon of soy sauce. Egg whites. He's probably going to be like, this is one of the most delicious meals I've ever had. Bro, salt, pepper, season your food, taste your food when cooking. You don't need to take a lot, but it makes a difference. I'm such an asshole. I can't believe my audacity. Salt and pepper, brother. Oh, I hate you. I hate this guy already. It's just it's just a different version of fried rice. Oh, if I tasted that, I'd be like, this is good, but like it's lacking seasoning for whatever reason. You're so cute. It's German. That's what it is. It's German. I will make that later. Oh my goodness. I'm an asshole. Why didn't he season his food? Why didn't he season his food, huh? Someone want to explain that to me? Why did he not season his food? Sure, he's going to eat it and he's going to be like, oh, this is so fucking tasty. Ah. And then I'm like, it's lacking, dog. It's lacking, brother. What? Ginger, Napa cabbage, green onion, mushroom, soy sauce. Cayenne pepper. You know, it's almost that time, chat. No one was here, and you know that's okay. Sustainability requires a lot, and I really can't be on that late today. I will probably do a later stream where I play Terrace Land because I haven't been playing that. Cabbage, green onions, carrots, mushrooms, carrots, green onions. He didn't even use the tomatoes. He just has them there. You could have definitely put some of those little tomatoes in there. Cabbage. I'm molding. Soy sauce. If you want one real good advice when you're cooking, always taste as you're cooking. That is possibly the most important aspect of cooking because you know how to balance your flavors. You gain a greater sense of your palate. Like I went to school for this, and even though I'm basically something, I still do it. I still do it. All of that shit still matters, and I'm cooking more now than I have before because I'm not fighting for a place in my own fucking household kitchen anymore. So yeah, taste as you cook. Wash your ass. I love you. Anyways, I gotta go. I have a drive. I do indeed have a drive. I appreciate you being here. We're gonna close this off with delicious steak cooked in butter. Yeah, be kind to yourselves, all right? The last couple days, I had some really bad mental health, even though, like, physically, I'm doing a lot. Like, I'm moving my body. I'm being active. And mentally, like, yeah, it's going to take more than cold showers. I'll tell you that much. Be kind to yourselves. Holy fuck. That would mean so much to me. I love you, chat. Bye. See you later. Twitch paid me out, by the way. which is nice, which means I have to show up, you know? I have to show up. I'm worried about Hansel because I haven't seen him in our streamer's channel, so I hope he's okay. You know what? I'm gonna DM him. So yeah. Thank you, chat. Catch you later. I'm gonna let the song play for a little bit.